Wonderful. So we have Ariyahi, Arnay, Suchit, Myra, Prabhav, and here in the classroom I have Garg with me. Are you able to see the full screen okay? Yeah? Alright. So, yeah, somebody was saying something? So, the question here is, what do we learn today? What are we planning to do? And that question can be answered if we recall what did we do in the last class. So, who remembers what we did in the last class? Yep.
We looked at the system of equations.
Okay. We looked at the system of equations and what else? Prabhav, Maya, Riyahi, Suchit, Arnay. Add more color to it. Everyone. So Riyahi, we want keep your videos on. Suchit will turn it on in 10 minutes. Maya tried turning it on once and I see that she's still not able to. But my question to you guys is, what did we do in the last class? Garg told that we talked about system of equations. Can somebody add a little more color to it? What else? What extra we talked about? Prabhav, do you remember what we did in the last class? I'm sorry, sir? You don't remember? Okay, say this here too. So just to help you guys recall, we talked about system of equations and we understood the need for having a system of equation. If we are dealing with only one variable, one equation is enough to solve for it. If we have one equation with more than one variable, we don't get a solution. We get so many solutions or so many combination of x and y values. And then we said, okay, fine. If I have to solve for two variables, we need at least two equations. At least two. If you have more, that's a blessing. But we need at least two. If I have to solve for three variables, we need three equations. So these are the mandates that we came across. And then we tried understanding if we have a system of equations, let's say I have two equations to solve for two variables. If I have two equations with two variables, yes, sir.
Sir,
You can barely see the writing, and I agree to that. That is because I have kept the door open and there is a lot of reflection coming from outside. I would need to close the door. So in the meantime, what I will do is I'll change the font and I'll change the color also. And then you guys have to tell me whether it's visible or not. Let's say I have two equations, 2x plus y equal to 12 and x minus y equal to 3. Is it visible or not visible yet? No? Okay. Then this color is not right. I will stick to the original color. I'll just increase the font. Make it bolder and okay. Do you guys, are you able to see what is there on the screen now? Little better? Okay. So, we came to a point that if we have to solve for two variables, we need two equations. You are the one who was not letting the kids see what is there on the screen. So now life will get a little better. Better now? No complaints? Okay. So we saw that, okay, if I have two variables to solve for, we need at least two equations. And then in the last class, we also understood what does it mean mathematically, that if I have two equations and I want to solve for it, it simply means that there is a value of x and there is a value of y. that will satisfy both the equations. That's what we came to, right? So if I am saying that by solving the system equation, we are getting some value of x and y, that value of x and y will satisfy this condition as well as this condition. Yeah? Or graphically, if you look at it, if I have two equations forming the system of equation, first equation is drawing this line, second equation is drawing this line. If they are meeting at this point, this is my solution, and that is essentially the value of x and y, which satisfies this equation because it's falling on this line, and satisfies the second equation also because that is falling on this line as well. Yeah. There's so much of silence. I don't need silence, I need acknowledgement. Everybody okay so far? Yeah? Arna, your lighting has to be a little bit better because I sometimes see your hand movement, but I don't know whether I saw something or it was just. I'm sorry, Uda? Yeah. Because, okay. So, this is the basic premise of system of equation. In 3 lines, if I summarize, if I have a system of equation, that means first thing is I need as many equations as the number of variables, that is one. Second is if I am getting a solution from system equation, that means there is one point where both the lines are converging to or where the lines are intersecting, that is where, and that point's x and y coordinates are my solutions. And the third thing was we came across different scenarios. If I have 2 equations, okay, let me put it differently. Let's say if I have 2 equations, x plus 2y equal to 8 and 2x plus x plus 2y equal to 10. Will I always have a solution? No, Saisha.
Hi.
Okay. So you were missing the last class. I'm going to talk about the system of equations. Assumption is everybody has got a chance to watch the video of the previous class to at least build the understanding. Were you able to do that, Saisa? Did you watch the video of last class? No? Okay. Sorry. I mean, while watching the video of previous class certainly is needed. So just try doing that sometime. It will be great tomorrow. I will make sure that when I am teaching things here, I'll keep on giving reference to that class so that you can relate to it. So when you watch a video of the class, you are able to make your understanding better. So, in one line, if I say system of equation is nothing but a set of equations that helps us solve it for the variables. Okay? We have to. This is one equation, linear equation that will draw a line. The other equation that will draw another line. And there are essentially 3 scenarios I can come across. I can have a solution, I may not have a solution, and I can have infinite number of solutions. What are those 3 scenarios? Let's see who all will present. Just give me a practical example, don't give me in the form of equation. If I have 2 lines or 2 equations, this is linear equation, this will draw a line, the other equation, this will draw a line. Yeah.
If the other 2 equations are parallel, then there's a.
So if the lines are parallel, then there will be no solution, right? So if I have 2 equations and they are drawing 2 parallel lines, there is no solution to talk about because my solution is always the point where the lines meet. In case of parallel lines, they are not meeting. I will come back to you. I will ask you another question on that one. But for now, from a concept point of view, there is one scenario when even if I have 2 equations, I might not have a solution. What is the second scenario? Anybody else? Prabha, Sid, Vivan, Maya, Priyahi, Sushil, Prakhar, anybody? Saisa? Again, it has nothing to do with what we have done in the last class. I am just asking you guys to call out the scenarios. First scenario, like what Gerd mentioned, I can have 2 equations and if they are drawing parallel lines, I may not have a solution. That is one scenario. Second scenario, I will call it out. If I have two lines, two equations, drawing two lines and they meet at this point, that means there is a solution. There is a third scenario. Who remembers that? Who can talk about it? What is the third scenario? One solution, no solution. Third one is sorry? Infinite number of solutions. Meaning when I have two equations and they literally overlay. Okay? Then we talk about infinite number of solutions. Are you guys with me or not? Vivaan, no hide and seek. Suchet, you'll have to turn on the video as soon as you're done with the breakfast. Okay. So there are three scenarios that we talked about. We have two lines meeting each other, so we have a solution. We have two lines being parallel to each other, we have no solution. And we have an infinite number of solutions when the lines are overlaying each other. Now comes the actual check or test. I have one equation, x plus 2y equal to 8. Okay? I want you guys to create the second equation to make it a system equation so that we can solve for it. Tell me what will be your second equation so that this equation 1 and this equation 2 doesn't give you a solution.
So we want the second equation to make it so that there is no solution.
No solution, yeah. I want you guys to make the second equation when we have no solution coming out of the two equations. Who will help me get that? Sid, any thought, Peter? I have one equation. I want to cook up another equation such that these two equations don't give me a solution. Say Prabhav, Divan, Maida, Sushil, Aryani, anybody, and the kids here with me. Are you guys trying something? I see Prabhav is scribbling something, so he's certainly trying to get to an answer. How about Divan, Aryahi, Myra, Anne? Think about it, think about it. Thinking is very important. Yes, Myra, go ahead.
I was just going to say
Solving it. How about Aryahi and Suchit? Give me something. Okay, let me give you that. Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Almost done? Okay. Okay. Prabhu, any clue with that? I have one equation. I want you guys to cook up another equation such that the two equations will give me no solution. I'm sorry, Prabhu? Yes. I want you guys to cook up an equation. What will be your initial thought to get to that? Yes, Arya. Okay, so I have one equation, x plus 2y equal to 8. I want you guys to cook up the second equation so that it becomes a system equation such that these two equations don't give me a solution. Did you get the question, Peter? Are you here? Okay, Myra, you have raised your hand. What is that answer?
X plus 2y.
X plus 2y equal to 12. Okay. Is this the only answer? Or is this the only possibility, Myra?
I'm solving the other possible equation.
Okay, yes, everyone.
I found x plus 2y equals 5.
Okay. X plus 2y equal to 5. What about Gerb and Prakhar said about yes said
X plus 2y.
x plus 2y equals 10. Now you guys are playing with me. You guys have literally started teasing me. Okay? Yes, Maya, tell me. Yes, sorry, Ariya.
I also got x plus 2y equals 10.
So, see, you guys are literally toying with me right now. Okay? You guys are playing with my sentiments, my emotions. Okay? What is happening here is this. And I agree, all these are right solutions. And that's why I was asking Maya to tell me that x plus 2y equal to 12, is this the only solution? The answer to that will be no. There will be infinite options. Let's forget about math for a little bit. Let's look at the visual side of it. If I have an equation which draws a line for me, I am talking about a situation when I don't get a solution, meaning there are how many lines which could be parallel to this? Infinite, right? For any line there will be infinite parallel lines, correct? And that is what I was trying to hear from you guys. If somebody said, I solved it and got this value, I will say there is nothing to solve. It is just to relate. Now look at this. This equation, this equation, and this equation. What is happening? Your coefficient of x is the same. Your coefficient of y is the same. What is changing? Only the constant part. So, what is that we were trying to achieve? We were trying to find out parallel lines. Okay? So that we don't have a solution. Saisa, am I making sense to you so far? Little bit? Okay. So, let's look at it this way. Okay, I have one line. If I have another line, then which is parallel to this guy, they will never meet. If they don't meet, there is no common value for x and y. Yeah. So that's what we are trying to find out. Okay, if I have this equation as one equation and this equation as, or any equation as the other equation, it has to be such that this line and these lines are parallel. Okay. So if the two lines are parallel, they will never meet. There will be no common value for x and y. Yeah? Or there will be no solution for it. Yeah? So here, everybody was giving me different answers. Saying, okay, this is my equation and these are equations that will give me no solution. Or these are parallel lines. How will I relate to it? We are talking about parallel lines. What is meant by parallel lines? Parallel lines are the lines which have same slope. Yeah? Parallel lines are the lines which have the same slope. Agreeable or not? Now, how do we relate to slope? What is the form of a line which talks about the slope? Y equal to mx plus c. This is the slope-intercept form of a line. Yes? This is the slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and this one is the y-intercept. Yeah? So, Sai sir, did I ever talk about slope-intercept form in the class when you were there?
I think maybe once.
Yeah. So any linear equation, you can represent. There are few forms for it. Okay. One is called standard form. One is called slope-intercept form. And slope-intercept form is like this, where you write y on one side and m times x plus c. If you want to see an equation in the slope-intercept form, y equal to 2x plus 4. Here, this is your m. whatever is the coefficient of x, that is your slope. Yeah. Considering y has no coefficient or y has only one coefficient. So look at this one. This was the equation. This was the original equation, and we were trying to find out the line parallel to this, meaning lines which have the same slope. Or in other words, x and y coefficients are not touched. If I write another equation, y equal to 2x plus 5, y equal to 2x minus 9, y equal to 2x plus 2 million. See, as long as you are not changing the coefficient of y and x, you are not changing the slope. You are only changing the y-intercept. Or in other words, y-intercept is what? If you have y equal to mx plus c, this is the y-intercept. This is where the line is touching the y-axis. If this is c, this is c1, this is c2, this is c3. Between these four lines that you will see, you will have the same slope, y equal to mx plus c for this guy, y equal to mx plus c1 for this guy, y equal to mx plus c2 for this guy, and this guy will be y equal to mx plus c3. Because this c1, c2, c3, c4 that you see is nothing but the y-intercept.
So the bigger the y-intercept is, the farther apart the parallel line.
Right. Or bigger the difference between the
Bigger
y-intercept.
the differences.
Yeah. So here in this case, what you guys did was, you guys were just playing with me. You did not change the x and y, the coefficient of x and y. That means you did not temper the slope. You were creating parallel lines, and everybody kept on changing the value of this. Now, if you were being more playful, you will say, okay, 60. More playful, x plus 2y to minus 20. Nobody is stopping us from doing that. Only my constant or the y-intercept changing. Everything else is staying intact. Yeah? Was that the strategy that you guys used, or you guys used a different strategy? If somebody says I was calculating, I would say there is no need to calculate. As long as you don't change this one, you are just plugging in different numbers of your choice. That's it. Yeah? Prabha, Vivan, Seth, Aryahi, Suchit, Arnav, Maya, and Saisa. And here, Gaurav and Prakar. Did I make sense, or is it relatable, or you guys are finding it a little bit disconnected?
Good for me.
I'm sorry?
It's good for me.
Okay. Saisa, did that make sense better? Yeah? Now, let me give you guys a little bit more trouble. I have one equation, x minus y equal to 5. I want to cook up the second equation such that from this combination of equation I get infinite number of solutions. Can somebody give me an example of the second equation? I already have one equation. I want to cook up my second equation such that I get infinite number of solutions. I'm enjoying the stress I see on your forehead. Everybody. No, I'm not enjoying it. I'm enjoying the fact that you guys are trying. Tell me, give me some interesting answers. Prabhav, what is going in your mind right now? Tell me. 2x minus 2y equal to 5. 2x minus 2y equal to 5. Think about it. I'll come back to you. Anybody else? Maida, Saisa, Sid, Garv, Prakhar, Ivan, Ariana, anybody? Prabhav gave one answer and my first feedback was think about it. So basically when you are giving the answer, obviously you have to think and give me the answer. So I'm just sounding like broken records. Any idea? And these problems don't need any calculation, that's the beauty of it. So you give the answer after thinking about it. What are you doing with the slippers? Okay, you just give the answer based on how you relate to it. And see, I and Suchit have matching t-shirt today. Okay, so you just think about the concept part of it and you should be able to answer in 30 seconds. Yes. No, that flexibility I will not give you guys. Because so then the actual concept is not explored. I mean, whatever you said, Saisa, that is theoretically right. That if I am talking about infinite number solution, I am talking about another equation that is not the same line. And there is nothing better than the same equation. Yeah? But I want to explore a little bit more. Yes, sir. Anything you are saying x minus y equal to anything? I'll say 6. Yeah. This one also I will make you think. Yes, girl.
2x minus 2y equals 10.
2x minus 2y equal to 10. So I have 3 answers. Okay, so I'm happy to start now. Actually, I have 4 answers. One answer that Saisa also gave, saying you can use this. So now I have 4 options to choose from, and I will tell you why I will choose one and why I will rule out the other one. Let's look at this one. This one is theoretically right, but if I say find out something same as this one, if you say the same thing, it doesn't reflect the concept. So that's why I'm parking this one for now. Now going to this one, x minus y equal to 6. X minus y equal to 5 and x minus y equal to 6. What is the difference? You are creating 2 parallel lines. Because your coefficient of x and y are same, you are only changing the y-intercept. You are not making the lines coincide to get infinite number of solution. You are creating parallel lines. So I will rule out this option also. Yeah. And then I have these 2 options. One coming from Garv, one coming from Prabhav. And I like you both. I like everybody in the class. So I have to have a very strong reasoning why I will choose this versus this or vice versa. And I will go choosing this one. Why? Because there is another concept of linear equation. That if you have an equation, you are free to multiply or divide the equation by any number of your choice. If you like to multiply by 2. So this has to become 2x minus 2y equal to 10. That is why this is my choice. You can multiply by 3, you can multiply by 20, you can multiply by 1900, you can multiply by 1 trillion also. And it doesn't change the behavior of the equation. This is something that I explained in one of the class. I'm not sure if I did that in this class or somewhere else. Did I explain that to you guys in this class? No? Let me show you guys. So there is a concept that we have to keep in our mind for our use forever. If you have any equation, if you multiply all the terms of the equation by any number of your choice, or divide all the terms of the equation of any number of your choice, let's say I like 7, you guys like 6, so 6 and 7, right? That 6 and 7 combination, I was tortured by 6 and 7 last year so much by you guys that I started hating these numbers. But now things are getting better. This year I am not hearing 6 and 7 more from you guys, so it's okay. And this used to come from those first, second graders also. First and second graders all the way till 12th graders. Alright, so let's come back to this one. Any equation if I multiply by any number of our choice, all the terms, or divide all the terms by any number of my choice, my equation's behavior doesn't change. So, we will look at one simple example. Let's say I have the equation x plus y equal to 2. Okay? What this rule says that I can multiply entire term. Let's say I like 4. So if I multiply this equation by 4, which will make this equation as 4x plus 4y equal to 4 times 2, 8. It's okay to multiply any equation by all the terms of the equation by any number of your choice, or divide all the terms by any number of your choice, and it doesn't change the behavior of the equation. Now you will see it. So this equation it looks different, right? Sarsa, Suchit, Mayra, everybody. These two equations look different, right? But they are actually not different, they are the same. Because we just multiplied this equation by a number 4. Now you guys will see why these two are same. 4x plus 4y equal to 4 times 2, 8. Now let's do some divide and conquer and you will see it. I have this equation x plus y equal to 2. This is 4x plus 4y equal to 8. What do we do with the equation? Well, we first create a table of x and y combinations so that we can try plotting it on a coordinate plane. Right? We will create the table here also. So I am getting a little tired now. I am feeling lazy. Okay, so that means I will try creating only 3 points, okay, not many. Otherwise, I will spend a lot of time just doing calculation. And anyway, this is a linear equation. I just need 2 points to draw a line, right? So I am just picking 3 points. I will pick 1 point when x is 0, second point when x is 1, third point when x is 2. Here also x is 0, y is 1, x is 1 and x is 2. These are 3 combinations of x I have picked up. I am trying to see what is my corresponding value of y based on this equation. When x is 0, y is 2. When x is 1, 1 plus y equal to 2, that means y is 1. When x is 2, y is 0. Yeah? So far everybody okay? Saisa, Mayra, Sid, Prabha, Aryahi, Garv, Prakhar, everybody okay? So, yeah, good. So we selected 3 values of x and we found the corresponding value of y based on this equation. Now let's come here. When x is 0, 4 times 0 plus 4y equal to 8. This becomes 0, so 4y equal to 8, y equal to 8 by 4, that is 2. Okay? When x is 0, y is 2. Based on this equation. Let's go to when x is 1. 4 into 1 plus 4y equal to 8. So 4 plus 4y equal to 8, or 4y equal to 8 minus 4. 4y is equal to 8 minus 4 is 4. So y is equal to 4 by 4, that is 1. Okay. Third situation is, and I am not even looking at this side of it. Okay. It's like I am driving on the road. I am not caring about other cars on the road. I am only focusing on my lane. When x is equal to 2, 2 times 4 plus 4y equal to 8. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 4y equal to 8, or 4y equal to 8 minus 8, or 4 Come on. 4y equal to 8 minus 0. So y is equal to 0. So what we did was, based on this equation, we picked 3 values of x and found the corresponding value of y. Based on this equation, we picked same 3 values of x, found the corresponding value of y. What do you see? 0, 2, 0, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. 2, 0, 2, 0.
So that's why both of them are the same.
It's creating the same line. So even when you multiply the equation by the number of your choice, it gives you a delusion that you are creating a new equation. But actually you are not. You are not tempering the relationship or the contract between x and y. You are just repainting it differently. That's it. So hereafter, if anybody says I have 2x minus y equal to 14 and 14x minus 7y equal to 98, I am just flexing my mathematical skills right now. This was my equation and this is a new equation. I am just multiplying everything by 7. So this became 14x, this became 7y and this became 14 times 7, 98. These are essentially 2 equations, same 2 equations. We just multiplied the first equation by 7. Or if you look at other way around, we divided this equation by 7 to get here. And both are same. If any equation gets multiplied by any number of your choice, it doesn't change the behavior of the equation. And eventually, like we saw, same combination of x and y, what does it mean? First equation draws this line, second equation also draws the same line. And that will make it 2 overlaying lines or infinite number of solutions.
Because
Every single point. So depending on how much effort you want to put, you can find out how many points are there in this line. Infinite number of solutions. Does it make sense? Prakhar, Prabhav, Suchit, Saisa, Vivan, Ajay, and Myra, Ananya. Am I making sense to you guys? I always do, isn't it? Alright, so on a serious note, what we saw so far is that if I have 2 lines parallel to each other, there is no solution. And we know what a parallel line means. If the 2 lines are parallel, the slopes are same. If the slopes are same, meaning if I relate that with this form, my coefficient of x is the same. So as long as I am not touching the coefficient of x and y, and I am only changing this value, I am creating parallel lines. That will give me no solution. If I have any equation given to me and I have to find out another equation such that it gives me infinite number of solutions, I am talking about finding 2 coinciding lines. A coinciding line you can find by multiplying one equation by any number of your choice. There is a number called 13 and there is a story behind. It's called triskaidekaphobia. So there are people who are scared of 13, number 13. It's considered an unlucky number. So even if you want to multiply this equation by 13, you will not get unlucky here. You will end up drawing the same line. Yeah. Now the third scenario, when the lines intersect, that is when you have a solution. Yeah. So you have 2 equations. One equation is drawing this line, other equation is drawing this line. Wherever it meets, every point in the coordinate plane can be identified or located by its x and y coordinate values. Correct? So wherever these 2 lines meet, that intersections x and y coordinates are our solution. Graphically. Or else we can solve the equations algebraically to find out the value of x and y. Yeah? And I have not explained that yet. I am just setting the context. So, 3 scenarios with 2 lines. Now, let's look at the scenarios here. Let's say you guys come to the class. What all would happen? You come to the class, waste your 1 hour, go home learning nothing. That is one scenario. You come to the class, you learned a little bit and went home with not being so very happy. You came to the class, you learned enough for the time that you spent and you went home happy. These are 3 scenarios. Likewise, when you have 2 equations, there are 3 scenarios that could potentially happen. One is the 2 lines meet at one point and give you one solution. The lines are parallel to each other, no solution. The lines coincide, infinite number of solutions. So here comes the dad joke. I, Suchit and Sid have matching dress today. I noticed that just now. Our color combination, this aligns with the Independence Day theme also, if you guys remember. The top first line of the tricolor is saffron. Our colors are a little bit closer to saffron. So if somebody would have put on green dress, that would have given us the feel of Independence Day. That was a dad joke. Let's come back to what we want to do here. So now our focus would be, for next 2 classes, we'll focus on how do we solve these 2 equations to get a solution algebraically. And that is where we have 2 methods. One is called method of substitution and one is called method of elimination. Let me try understanding from you guys what is your understanding of method of substitution and method of elimination first. What do you guys know what is method of substitution and method of elimination, or trying to figure it out? What is method of substitution? Yeah.
Where you like multiply the equation by a number and then it's still the same equation.
Little louder, I cannot hear you.
Where you like multiply the entire equation by like a number and it still stays the same equation that you did.
Okay. Anybody can tell me what is method of elimination? Maya, Hariyaji, Prabhav, Sid. Are you guys aware of what is method of elimination actually? Sayasa. Have you heard this term, method of elimination or method of substitution? No? Arnay? You guys have not heard about it so far? Nobody has heard about it? That is surprising. Vivan, you have never come across method of substitution or elimination?
I know I came across the method of substitution and elimination.
Okay. Yeah, Suchit, you were saying something. Okay. So method of substitution and method of elimination, you guys, some of you know, rest of you will know or get to know in next couple of classes. But my only promise to you is both revolves around the same one concept. Method of substitution and method of elimination revolves around the same one concept. And what is that concept? That concept is I am good to solve any equation if I have only one variable in the equation. Method of substitution and method of elimination both uses the same technique or the guiding principle, which says I can solve for the equation if I have only one variable in the equation. This is one example. Let's say I have this equation. I can still solve for x because I have only one variable in this equation. So method of substitution and method of elimination both tries to get to a point that you are left with only one variable in an equation, and it navigates towards that. You will see that now. Method of substitution. Okay, let me do a quick. How much time do we have? 13 minutes. Okay. This is method of substitution. See, I have been observing some paranormal activities in the class.
I just literally this.
Huh? Somebody is deleting what I write. Okay. Nothing to get scared of. Okay? Nothing paranormal happens. Technology is also equally having that skill of behaving like a ghost. Substitution and elimination. Okay? See? Don't get scared, guys, okay? That is more for that. Nothing paranormal happens. At least I have not seen it. I just cook up stories. So, let's say I have an equation. X plus y equal to 5 and 2x minus y equal to 10. Now go by the words that you have here. Substitution. We are going to substitute something. What we can do is, we can pick one of the equations that we like, that looks easy to our eyes. Let's pick this one. From this one, if I take this one, x plus y equal to 5, so that becomes x equal to 5 minus y. We will take this value and plug into this second equation. So we are taking one equation, from that we are deriving something and substituting in the second equation. So wherever I have x, I put this value. So 2 times x, in place of x, what I am going to put? 5 minus y. Minus y equal to 10. So we pick the first equation, which looked simple to us. From that we derived the value of x, and we took this value and substituted in the other equation. So in place of x, we put this one. Now you have to look at what is that we are trying to do here. When we are substituting the value of x, which is in terms of y, we are essentially knocking off one of the variables. Y is already in the form of y. Whatever was the x component, I am converting that also into y form. So essentially, after doing all this, what happened? My equation became this. One of this equation became 2 times 5 is 10 minus 2 times y is 2y minus y equal to 10. What happened here? We got to a point where we have only one variable in the equation. Moment of silence for everybody to digest this. This is method of substitution. What it says is, you can substitute the value coming from one equation into the other equation to minimize the number of variables that we are dealing with. That is exactly what happened here. We had two equations. We picked up one easy looking equation. From that we derived the value of one of the variable and plugged that variable back into the second equation. That way, now this equation, which was this before, became this. See the transformation here with this exercise. We had two variables in this equation. Not interesting. After substitution, this has only one variable y. And from that we can solve it. 10 minus 3y, see, minus 3y equal to 10, or 3y equal to 0, minus 3y equal to 0, or y equal to 0. Yeah. So by doing this stunt of substitution, we could eliminate one of the variable, and this is what I was talking about. Be it method of substitution or elimination, we are trying to get to a point where we derive an equation with only one variable, and then you could find the value of y. Now you take the value of y, you plug it anywhere, put value of y here, x plus y, which is 0 equal to 5, so x equal to 5. Yeah. Now let's look at elimination. And again, I am just touching the surface of the tip of the iceberg. That's what people say. Let's look at these two equations. X plus y equal to 5 and 2x minus y equal to 10. If I add these two equations, I'm adding these two equations because I have a y plus here and a y minus here. What happens? 2x plus 3x becomes 3x. These two cancel out each other, equal to 15. X equal to 15 by 3, which is 5. Here we took one equation, value from the equation, substituted in the second equation, and we continued with that. Here he found out some trick to eliminate the variable. Okay? So when and that trick was, okay, I have one negative, one positive, I can eliminate. And when we practice a little bit more in the coming class, that is when you will see that we will apply the technique of multiplying equation, dividing equation, and then adding them, subtracting them to create a new equation with one variable again. Look at this one and look at this one. These two are similar end result that we get to by being on the drama and circus. Both the case, we are only trying to achieve how do we get to a point, whatever massaging we do with our equations, whatever technique we apply, our ultimate goal is to derive a new equation from the given equation so that we have only one variable in that. And once you find the value of one of the variable, then the second variable's value is known. Does it make sense or not really? Not really. Okay, so we will certainly practice few more problems, and I will repeat my story one more time. Let me try getting a sense of it. Okay. So girl said, it's okay, 50-50. So let me figure out how many of you are 50-50 or 100% with whatever I have explained. It's okay. Prabhav, 50-50 or 100%? 100%. Sid, 50-50. Suchit, 75-25. Vivan,
Still solving.
I'm sorry?
I'm still solving.
Still solving? Don't have to solve it. I'm just trying to see. Solving part, I will give you guys enough burden to deal with. Okay? I'll give you guys assignments and all. I'm saying, based on whatever I'm doing right now, did that make sense to you guys or no?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, Cyrus sir, 50-50, 100%. 100%? Oh, very nice. Unless it's 50-50. Prakhar, I will not steal your shoe for sure. It's okay. Prakhar is in the class and he is taking very good care of his shoes, his Crocs. As if his teacher is going to take it away. I will not take it away, I promise. Okay. Myra, how about you?
I'm 50-50.
50-50. Okay, so don't look at the board for a minute. There are certain things that you have to keep in mind. Like you guys are very clear what you're joining, why you're joining this class. Everybody is clear that I'm joining this class because there is an assumption that we are going to learn something relating to math. And that part is very clear, right? The day that purpose gets diluted, you will change your teacher, correct? The day you realize, okay, this is not the class for learning math, either the teacher is horrible or he is not teaching the right topics, you will change your teacher for sure, correct? And that's very normal. Same way, when we are solving the equations, be it by method of substitution or be it by method of elimination, our goal is very clear. That we want to do something to create or transform my equation into equation with one variable. Because we are very good solving equation with one variable. It gives me a perfect answer. If I am in a situation where I have more than one variable in one equation, not easy to solve. So I always want to navigate towards equation with one variable. That's my ultimate goal. Yeah, that's what we are trying to achieve. So what I was telling was that method of substitution and method of elimination both help us navigate towards that common goal of getting to one variable with one equation. Now, method of substitution uses a different technique. Method of elimination uses a different technique. In method of substitution, what you do, you have two equations. You pick one equation that looks easy from a calculation point of view. And you can use any equation, okay? There is no restriction or limitation. It's just for the sake of ease. You pick one equation, let's say this one looks easy. From that you find out the value of one of the variable. Whatever value you got, that you can plug into the second equation. So from this we found the value of x equal to 5 minus y. We took this value, plugged into the other equation. And by doing that, what happened? X disappeared. Because every x is replaced with the new value derived. So we got to a point where we had only one variable in this new equation. I mean, this is not a new equation. I'm just rewriting this equation with this finding. And this became an equation with only one variable. So this objective is met. And then after this you can find the value of y. Once you found the value of y, plug it anywhere, you can find the value of x. So method of substitution uses a technique that pick up the value of one of the variable from one of the equation and plug into the other equation so that you are able to eliminate one of the variable. Yeah? Little bit better now? This little bit better is inching towards this? Kind of? Okay. And we will see, just learning the concept is not the way to go. That is why I am still parking it for next class. When we meet in the next class, we will solve few problems. That is when we will see the application of it and start making more sense. Okay? But with method substitution, what I was saying was, we were able to eliminate one of the variables and then we could solve it further. Method of elimination uses a more blunt technique of slashing out the variables. And what the technique is, if you have two equations, you can add them, subtract them, you can multiply one equation with one value, multiply other equation with another value, and then add, subtract. All that we will practice, okay? Because me saying that okay, there are 5 rules, there is no need to memorize it. Only thing I expect you guys to do between now and the next class is go to the video of this class just to make sure that you are very clear about what is your ultimate plan, what is the limitation we have, what is the limitation we have with respect to solving equation with one versus multiple variables. Put your comments. I am not seeing comments coming from many of you. I am only seeing Garv giving his comments diligently after every class video. I have not seen comments coming from Moira either. Neither Ariari or Prakhar. Everybody. I want everybody to watch the video. This is new. I would not say creative, but this is more of a disciplined approach towards making best use of what resources we have. So I am requesting everybody to watch the video of the class which I uploaded. You watch the video, make your notes, and put a small comment saying, "Sir, this is Prakhar, and this class we learn the methods of elimination and substitution." That's it. You don't have to write a big story there. But your comments do matter because it will help me know who all is able to watch the video and get meaningful outcome from that. Alright? With that being said, I'll let you guys go and we'll meet again in the next class to muddle the water further. Alright, have fun. Bye bye.